Ladies and gents, some of these Dragons players, they cannot miss at the moment. You've got Ben Hunt with the terrific 72, Little with a 67, and then Lomax hitting over that 50 mark again with a 61. And it was basically all of the relevant players that were able to score points here. So if you had a few players in this game, I think you'd be pretty satisfied, pretty happy with how things played out. So Benny with a try, assist, try in that one. Tackles were a bit better than what you do see from him at 7 sometimes, and the kick meters are astronomical at 23 points gained in that one, which is wild. So good stuff to Hunt in that one. An over 50 season so far with the 3 games to go, and I can't believe there's 3 weeks left. It's getting sad. Sometimes it's like, I get to do a few less videos, but it's like, well, I'm going to miss you guys, that's for sure. You'll have to join me for some NBL Supercoach. I'm going to have I played it last year. I'm going to have a crack at just a few bits and pieces, videos wise, and then we'll get into the BBL Supercoach again in full throttle, which will be good fun. So that's Ben Hunt. Little 67 for this one here with a line break and a try assist. It was a good one at that, doing the Appy Coruscant special, ducking under tackles, but 52 tackles for him, 111 meters run. Spectacular for a 9, exactly what you want, and he's really just showing his capabilities and what we knew he had in him in those 80-minute rolls. And if there are a good chunk of people that have jumped on him over the last month, especially, and he's really delivered apart from one score there. So that week that I said to buy him, he went his lowest, and then since then he's gone massive in his last few. So well done to Little owners in that one. Lomax picked up 5 offloads in this one, 190 meters, a try, and also 4 goals in this one. So a good little outing for Lomax. Anyone who jumped on at under 650k, you'll be pretty pleased with that effort. Campbell in there with a 57, so good bounce back game for him. I imagine most people would have played him that do own him. He did obviously pick up 13 points in turnovers and try savers, which did annoy me, but it is what it is, and I just wish, sometimes they're my players. We have been seeing Jai Gray get the odd try saver, but haven't seen these kind of numbers since I think Trey Fuller when he first came in for my team. But anyway, Campbell had good tackle numbers in this one, ran the footy plenty, and obviously got that try and a couple of goals as well. So good across the board for Campbell. We know that he's got this in him when he can get his negatives down and can spread a little bit across the board with some attacking stats there as well. He's got 50 plus in him every single week. Speaking of Keeney, he's got that in him as well. 57 with 344 run meters there. 2 line breaks and a try assist for Keeney was a spectacular effort from him again. And hopefully, for those that do own him, that he continues to play the last 3 games, which I think he should, to be fair. You've got Brimson sitting on the bench, obviously. I wonder how that's going to play out because Keeney's been a tremendous member of this side for the season there. Averaging 47.5, and that includes his absolute shockers at the start of the season when a lot of us owned him. But Randall, 55 for him, a very, very good effort. A bit more improved since the last few weeks, and he continues to usually get some type of late attacking stat or something like that. But in this one, it was all base, 46 tackles for 1 miss, 85 run meters as well. So 66 minutes to be able to get that is very, very impressive because he outdid Fafita. Again, 54 for David. He's actually lost some cash from the start of the year, and that's because this back sort of 6-8 weeks hasn't been anywhere near what it was like for him at the start of the year, where he's picking up high 60s and 70s easy does, that's for sure. But this week it was 2 offloads, 4 tackle breaks. Base stats were pretty well fine, so it's a solid outing, but no attacking stats. And yeah, probably just a few less offloads and tackle breaks compared to what we're used to seeing from him, unless he does pick up this kind of stat line with the try, and it's up in the 70s then, which is what you're kind of hoping for with Fafita. Jaden Su'A, if you jumped on him at the under 660 price point, I think I could have got him in the head-to-head team, but needed a mid. So there you go. That's a 52, the roll out of that one. Tupulotu with a 52, along with 50s from the Couchman brothers, Ryan and Toby there. Good stuff from them. They just seem to work really hard through that center, and they're going to be really valuable parts of this team across the next bunch of seasons. And it's good to see them finally getting some recognition and some time out there. Cleese Haas with the 49, so there's a lot of scores 50 plus in this one, which is ideal, as I said, for anyone who owned players in this game. So Cleese had a 49, Jojo Fafita a 48 with a double, so welcome back to him. Luciano with a 47 with a try, Foran with a 43 in his 300, so congrats to Foran on an incredible career. He absolutely deserves all the spoils, and I think he's done everything in the game, I suppose, that you'd want. as well, which is good. Jolliffe, 42 and 49. A few people mentioned him as a potential buy. The minutes aren't there like they were. He was playing 65 to 70 and PPM a little bit down with some missed tackles as well. So, yeah, something to improve. Eisenhuth with a 40 and 46. Not the worst PPM. You probably want a few more minutes, but they've got the Couchman boys coming in and doing great work at the moment, which is potentially dropping that down a little bit. And DeBellin with 36 in his 55 was a little bit lower PPM wise. You'd want and hope for more, but the sin bin is what crushed DeBellin, unfortunately, because the running base stats was really good. Verrills and Molo 38 and 39. So Verrills there, anyone who owns him, it's a solid enough score for where he's priced at. Phil Sami there with a 36 in his 80 minutes. Picked up a line break assist and a line break, but unfortunately for him, it was the negatives that cooked him a little bit. Neg 14 in this one, having 255 run meters to only have one tackle break is pretty wild as well, how that one played out. Aaron Clark 36. It's good to see Bird out there playing some good footy. One error in this one, 3 missed tackles, but was able to pick up a line break and played 70 minutes in this one, which is good to see, and picked up an escape from in-goal as well. So there you go. Just don't want him injured sitting on the sidelines, that's for sure. And then Sloan 29, Camperera 23, Brian Kelly 21. Bit of a tough one from him with 8 missed tackles, 3 penalties, so one of his worst games on return. And then Brimson 0 in 12 minutes, so he's going to be very cheap when it comes to next year. I think if this continues off the bench for him, then that's exactly how it's going to play out. So we'll see how that one goes over the next few weeks. But we get to the last game here. Sharkies up against the Knights, and you've got some big scores, basically, again, from everyone except Ponga and Marzu. You wouldn't believe it in this type of game, but it was played a lot through the middle, and you saw that with McInnes getting 76 for 58 in tackles, 125 run meters. So this was a spectacular game for him, obviously getting some extra time as well, but just to play it through the middle and, yeah, the sheer amount of tackles from some of these guys, like he had 58, he had Brayley with 55, and then, yeah, edge back roles are getting high 30s and the like there, and even, Jack Williams did end up playing 76 minutes, but he picked up 38 tackles as well in that one. So McInnes is great. Oregon Kaufusi stepping up and showing what he did earlier on the season. So I wonder what happened to him in the last few months, because that on the weekend looked exactly like he did for those few months in that middle part of the season where he absolutely crushed it. And even Toby Rudolph will see with some good stats there, 54 in 57 minutes, and he ran the footy with vigor as well. So very interesting how that one's played out. Even Adam Elliott at 58. So there's just so much work through the middle and on the edges to get this thing going, because you move on to Kaipis Paul, who picked up his first try in the NRL, and it was very close and it almost got taken away, but he got there. So good stuff to any owners of Kaipis Paul or anyone who was having a bet on him for sure. Picked up that line break try, 5 missed tackles still, but actually, started moving around, ran the footy a little bit sideways at points. He seems to be doing that a couple of times in recent history. 72 run meters, did have 3 turnover tackles to boot, but a lovely 66. And Nikora keeps doing it the last few weeks. This one with 1 try for kick, but it was in base stats where he got his bread buttered in this one with 3 tackle breaks and an offload to ground. Surprised they gave him the offload to ground. I thought that would have been to hand. Maybe it was going to go to ground, but the who was it? McCarthy touched it. Maybe that's how that one played out. So we'll see how that goes. But 52 in base and only 2 missed tackles is big for Nikora. So good stuff to owners of him. Atkinson, 59. Really good score as well. He is doing great things at the helm here. Obviously, they almost did lose to the Knights, and they probably should have. The Knights kind of gave it away with so many errors and penalties in the back end of this game. But, he got them over the line. He kicked 2 field goals in the end, not just the one. And Ponga kicked 1 as well, but there was only 1 that was counted because of the escort. So, not the escort, the blockers, I should say. Pretty wild how that one's playing out at the moment, but there you go. So good score for him and anyone who does own. But Elliott and Ramian both picking up 58s. Really nice from those guys. I don't know how many people have them, but awesome stuff from them. Gagai with 57. He had a try, had 3 line breaks as well. Plenty of misses on Talakai. He was trying to whack him and just wasn't happening. But, neg 20 on that front, but end up with 57 due to just the sheer amount of effort he puts in on the other side of the ball. So good stuff for owners of him. Really, that's all you could have hoped against a good Sharks side who's in the top 4 now. Brayley back to some of his best work with a 57, the full 85 minutes for him. Good work for owners. Rudolph with 54, as I said. Matt Croker, 48. Talakai, 45. It's a interesting watch him out in the centers, isn't it? Because he's got He's got the tackle breaking ability. He's got the running game, which we've seen, but he also has a bunch of missed tackles as well. And one of those to get Gagai a try. So there you go on that front. Williams, as I said, he ended up moving to the edge, obviously. Greg Marzhew, 44 for him in 85 minutes. Picked up a try early. Was pretty low still at halftime in the 23, 24 range. And then picked up a little bit with a fun offload. Couple of tackle breaks in that second half. And I was having a bit of a laugh. I was like, come on, Greg. Stop running it straight. Because he just runs straight at there could be one defender in front of him. And there was a few times he changed his line so he could run at 3. And it's very hard to break tackles unless you're running through them like he did last week in that one there. But still a 44 at his price point. We'll take that this week. Not too excited about the 44 from Frizzell, though. In his 75 minutes, good base stat numbers, but just that's all that really happened for him in this one, sadly enough. But if you own, it's fine. Saifidi, 41. Daniel, that is. He's had a really good back end of the season, hasn't he? Good work for owners of him. Mulatalo, 38. In this one with a try and a line break, doing his normal niggle. A couple of errors on this one as well, so not ideal in that one, but at 480, 338 is not too bad. Ponga, on the other hand, 36 at a 640 price point. Not so great in that front with a try saver in there, 2 turnover tackles. Again, same situation as Campbell this week. I was like, oh, come on. Be nice to me. 3 goals kicked, 1 try assist, and just not looking himself. Like, you only run for 93 meters in a game where you are the guy and you need to help them, your team win. There's obviously just so many errors in that back end as well, which really cooked him. But to have 5 missed tackles as a fullback, it's a very weird stat line to have plus 13 in turnovers and try savers, more kick meters and run meters for a fullback, and 5 missed tackles. So you're making 4 missing 5. So bit of a rough one, but it does get easier from here. And I still think he's a really good purchase over the next 3 weeks. But I just don't think we expect the world because he's not looking his exact self or anything like he was at the back end of last year. So keep that in mind as a non-owner if you're looking to buy. Burns, Gamble, broken hand, it sounds like, so not good on that front for him. Sonny Katoa, 35. Fletcher Sharp, 33. If you had to play him in the end, so be it. Pretty solid score with 2 line breaks in there. Blake Brayley, you want him at 9. Definitely want him at 9 there. Only 18 tackles. It's pretty wild in that one. You got Thompson, Hetherington, Hamden, Hunt, Jones, Cogger, Crossland, 11 in 76 minutes. Missed that field goal as well. Tough one for him. With that sin bin too, it was a bit of a mistake. The tackle had already been made and he comes over and goes, I'll lie on top for a little bit, try and slow it down. So, ref was all over that and he was all over the blockers as well. So there's plenty happening in this game, that's for sure. And that rounds out round 23 there. We'll get our results later this evening. Can't wait to go through all that, obviously, even though I did lose some ranks, sadly. But hopefully the next few weeks we can get that going again, even with a couple out this week and Watson as well to make 3. So a couple of Cowboys and then Watson as well. So there you go, guys. That's that one. I'll head off to work and we'll catch you in the next video.